Hello, my name is Erin Obodiak, and I'm here to speak to you about the Critical Theory Digital Archive. Although the term public, as in public healthcare, public housing, public transportation, and public education, is a bad word these days, open access initiatives from the Open Humanities Press to the Open University are surfacing everywhere. Even if we might not want our already problematic age of the world picture, Weltanschauung, to turn into a website, the children of open access are going to ask us to walk the plank anyways. There is no ground high enough to survive the floodwaters of the digital deluge, and as we have all been witnessing, the essential material substrate, the woodware of the humanities academic arc, the book and the archive, must weather the change in critical climate. What this means is that even the book and the archive will no longer be impermeable to each other. In our digital era, scholarly archives call for a resolution that rethinks the distinction between published and unpublished materials. They call for the dissolution of the distinction between the book and the archive. This paper will discuss a proposal to develop an open access critical theory digital archive at the University of California, Irvine. The proposal hopes to generate the first public digital archive representing the field of critical theory and the scholarly papers of the world's leading critical theorists, including those of Jacques Derrida, Stanley Fish, Richard Rorty, J.S. Miller, René Welleck, Wolfgang Iser, and Paul Duman. Although there have been many open access humanities publishing initiatives, most notably the Open Humanities Press, there are few that pair the open access dissemination of scholarly materials with the institutional grounding that academic archives provide. As a transformative epistemic infrastructure, the Critical Theory Digital Archive will reconfigure the act of publishing and the act of archive as one hybrid procedure. As the first digital entity of its kind, the Critical Theory Digital Archive, the CTDA for short, could serve as an innovative model for future projects that wish to unite the procedures of archiving and publishing under a single framework. Our era of digital technology, an era of open access, multimedia, and infinite reproducibility, challenges the very nature, authority, and future of archives in general. Reimaging a critical theory archive as a digital entity will require careful examination of what critical theorists themselves have to say about information technologies, digital scholarship, and open access dissemination. Although there have been many digital and online projects related to the humanities, there is no set prototype for an online scholarly archive representing the field of critical theory. The CTDA aspires to set this standard and intends to do so first by joining the open access movement, which is dedicated to the online publication of scholarly materials available to all. In her April 3, 2008 presentation, Free Libre Scholarship, Open Humanities Press at the University of California, Irvine, Ziggy Yotkant employs the mathematics of Reed's law to the open access situation. She explains, the number of subgroups formed inside a given network grows far more rapidly than the number of participants in the network itself, unquote. And that for contemporary theorists like Alain Badiou, adds Yotkant, quote, genuine innovation or novelty has a mathematical foundation insofar as it represents the eruption of inconsistency into situations, suggesting that as a power set or network of networks, the internet intrinsically contains what Badiou calls evental sites, sites that harbor the potential for genuine innovation or events to emerge. However, to be able to take advantage of the internet's potential for such network effects, each of the separate parts or subsets within it requires the freedom to interact with any other part or subset in any combination without being constricted by barriers such as access. This set theory approach powerfully argues that, rather than watering down humanities scholarship, the open access movement intensifies innovation within and integration without. The term open access already can refer to either publishing or archiving, yet digitization enables both to exist as one and the same repository. Uniting the procedures of archiving and publishing in one gesture does not preclude the publication of print monographs, nor does it precipitate the demise of paper archives. A nice publishing example close to home would be Legacies of Paul Duman, published online by Romantic Circles in 2005, and in print by Fordham University Press in 2007. An archiving example, again close to home, would be the University of California Irvine Library Special Collections and Archives, which, although a traditional paper archive, is already adding floppy disks and computer hard drives as accessions to its permanent collection. The second way the CTDA will set the standard for an online scholarly archive representing the field of critical theory will be by offering a response to the crisis in humanities scholarly publishing, by combining the process of publishing and archiving in one site. The idea of the published text is perhaps already outdated if archiving and publishing can be combined in one gesture, posting copies of pre- and post-print work along with published work, as well as links, geotags, podcasts, and blogs.